Pretty man up, man. Dicey 2026. Well, free up, Dice doesn't is not participating in this year's competition, Calypso competition. You will be you and let it be me, or let me be me, huh? That's a strict message there, boy. A strict message.
Don't tell me how to live. I want like this. I do it what I feel. Mind your business, please. Let me be. I don't want to
Let me be me. Dicey 2026. Love me or hate me. Let me be me, huh? You want a second dose of this one from Dicey this afternoon? We promised this one from yesterday, but due to some issues we were not able to play it. But Pink Dice, good afternoon to you, wherever you are, sir.
Don't tell me how to live. I want like this. I know it what I feel. Let me be me. Mind your business, please. Embarrassing me. I pray. Let me be me. I don't copy no man. I don't copy no man. Original style. From my head to my eyes. Let me be me. This is they always watching water. They always chat. Counting my steps like my taps. Yo, Jelly, I want you. Tell me. If I don't do it, they won't do it for me. I fight when I want, I cry when I need. I move to the drum, not society beat. Never explain my vibes to nobody. My life, my rules, my destiny. Heavy, keep my life too bright. Don't leave me. I'm up to shine. I ain't up there. If you carry it, seven die. I ride it now. Don't tell me how to live. I want like this. I know what I feel. Mind your business, please.
Someone says, man, if we had a weekly music industry chart, this would be top in the charts from now. Goosebumps, energy.
Let me be.
Let the man free up, man.
Visions, what I'm trying to do. I you do you, let me be. We don't go hit or violate. It's me tighty, but this fish you like. Some like come and slim, or when they big and nice. Sometimes my job is beef and it alright. And some will do anything searching for life. So if you see me dancing out of line, so happy, I'm feeling ready. No apology, no guarantee. One thing for sure, feeling freedom. Don't tell me how to live. I want like this. I do it what I feel. Mind your business, please. Let me be.
Good afternoon, Dominica. Good afternoon to you. I'm going to open up the lines until about the 2 o'clock hour. Sorry for the late start. It's chaos in the city. Sometimes trying to get to work, you know. I do apologize. We're going to come back, Dominica. We're going to come back. This is it.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to make it through. Who's going to stay in the queue? Yes, it's all about Kaiser semi-finals, Saturday, 31st January 2026, 8:30 p.m. at the Windsor Park Stadium. 20 great Calypsonians going to be battling. Only 9 could make it to the finals. So you got to be there. They're backed up by the Swingers Bank. Early bird tickets $50, regular $60, seating $80, VIP $130, pay-per-view $30 US. Come see who's gonna meet the Queen. Guest artists Queen Joy and Booyah Sensation Kwan Dan. It's all about Cancer semifinals. Saturday, 31st January, 8:30 p.m. sharp at the Windsor Park. Sponsored by Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Top Peter Water, Henneken Beer, Flow Dominica, Discover Dominica Authority, Jungle Bay, Domlet, Fresh Market, Do It Center, Big Edge, Pepper's Pizza, ICWI, Carry FM, Vibes Radio, QFM, DBX Radio, Adam Songs, The Factory.
And it's now here, so there we go. People from the north, south, east, and west, from Grand Bay to Portsmouth, Salisbury to Lapland, Tullamoon, the United Workers' Party presents the massive Grand National Rally, where the Grand Foreplay. And it's now here, so there we go. People from the north, south, east, and west, from Grand Bay to Portsmouth, Salisbury to Lapland, Tullamoon, the United Workers' Party presents the massive Grand National Rally, where the Grand Four playing field, yes, the Grand Four playing field, when Sunday, February 1st, 2026. At what time? We're starting from 12 noon with our next Prime Minister under the theme, putting Dominica first,
Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Come be part of great music, real talk, and entertainment. Of course, and great food. Macklin, I find you off that box with Papa. Remember, it's February 1st, a Sunday. February 1st, the Grand Four Plainfield. Put it Dominica first, the United Workers' Party.
Yeah, I wonder who's gonna make it through. Who's gonna stay in the queue? Yes, it's all about Kaiser semi-finals, Saturday, 31st January 2026, 8:30 p.m. at the Windsor Park Stadium. 20 great Calypsonians gonna be battling. Only 9 could make it to the finals. So you got to be there. They're backed up by the Swings and Bank. Early bird tickets $50, regular $60, seating $80, VIP $130, pay-per-view $30 US. Come see who's gonna meet the Queen. Yes, that is Queen Joy and Booyah Sensation, Kwan Dan. It's all about Kaiser semi-finals, Saturday, 31st January, 8:30 p.m. sharp at the Windsor Park. Sponsored by Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Top Peter Water, Henneken Beer, Flo Dominica, Discover Dominica Authority, Jungle Bay, Domlek, Fresh Market, Do It Center, Big Edge, Becky's Pizza, ICWI, Carry FM, Vibes Radio, QFM, DBX Radio, Adam Songs, The Factory.
If you know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums, Belfast Estate Limited. Over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy drink, and of course the Sunblast juices, Thomas Snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in Dominica.
Pon li net mwen asu tabla ba mwen. Fè vite souple mwen presse.
Sa lebi se maka wey.
Eh ben, isan akredi ou pa ka bien. Ouais, milinet la même kote a mwen dou lan.
La ye tout le ek mate ka wey.
Ça vle di ou bizwen ale Optifam vitman avan zye ou vin pli mauvais.
Ti mwen pis pa jodi mwen ni problem epis de mwen.
Eh ben, c'est Optifam qui ni pli meilleur docteur zye en peya. A pa di sa, Optifam jatiwe an chay l'argent a sou frame linet. Et yo ni pli bel frame linet ki an style.
Tout ça, eh ben, mwen kay check pressure mwen avan, ek apwe nay Optifam.
Non a tout fi. Ale la même. Puisque yo ka check pressure zye ou, examine zye ou pou licence chauffeur, check pou pisa dou, ek yo ka jik manager maladis diye glaucoma epi cataract.
Bon, ki kote Optifam ye?
Optifam at 223 Great Marlborough Street, 2 Point Queens, Amwazoo. Telephone 440-8486. And then 285-8676.
Bon Dieu, merci oui pou Optifam. Yo se limo yon pou occupation zero.
Treat yourself, your family, or a loved one to a comprehensive eye examination at Optifarm Eye Center to check for 20/20 vision. Also inquire about or telemedicine services, filling of external eyeglasses prescriptions, and specials on eyewear.
Also opened is A-Medic Urgent Care and Telemedicine Center, offering specialized and general healthcare. Call 612-1328 or come in for your appointment. You could also visit our new location at Casapora Bay Street, Portsmouth.
Good afternoon again. It's about 20 to the hour of 2 o'clock. Not too much time to talk. We have a guest coming up at the 2 o'clock hour. Interesting observation somebody just made that, this year we're having the semifinals and the finals at the stadium itself, not on the forecourt. That's an interesting change. I guess you welcome that. Now you can sit and watch that show. But we're happy for the news, huh? And somebody said, "No, you know who's now the president of the Calypso." Are you saying that's the reason? We'll have to confirm that with the president himself, Mr. Caressa. But it's interesting. I mean, I think it's good news that we're now having the semifinals and the finals at the stadium in Roseau. Again, we're gonna have just about 17 more minutes of free up time, and we'll join our guest at the 2 o'clock hour, right?
Not everything this government do, they do it for a reason. Probably they might have put up the lights in the stadium and they want us to just see that.
I guess we'll go and find out, huh? I think I got a voice note about somebody in the Roseau South encouraging the persons to go to Grand Four on Sunday. Let's listen a bit there.
Rise up, Roseau South. Join the United Workers' Party, Roseau South Constituency Committee as we gear up and rally in solidarity with Dr. Thompson Fontaine this Sunday at the Grand Four. Persons from Louvier, Girardel, Egliston, Fort Citronet, Bath Estate, Kings Hill, Silver Lake, Louisville, Newtown, Castle Comfort, Morehouse. Meeting area is at the Newtown Savannah from 11:30 a.m. Transportation will be provided. Need a ride? Call 276-1253. UWP, Roseau South is back on track. Let your voices be heard. Rally!
All right, let's go down to clock on the wall says it's 1:46 and 4 seconds. Hello, yes. Are you there? Hello.
Matt.
Yes, I.
Matt,
Yes.
you know, in the days of before,
Uh-huh.
when a young person is left school and started working, they would think of buying a piece of land. That'd be one of the first things your parents would push you to do.
True.
In days of today, everybody wants a car. And Matt, over the last 2 decades, we've seen the numbers grow into thousands and thousands of vehicles into Dominica. Matt, I've seen every single day. You come into Roseau in the morning, you have traffic from past Mastac going all the way down to Les Point. In some cases, almost down to Maho. But what kind of government for over 20 years would see the traffic going so high, Matt? So many vehicles coming in and have done nothing, Matt. Nothing to improve the road. Nothing to improve the roads, Matt. But that is very, very sad. You cannot have a government cashing money every single year from thousands of vehicles. And all you're doing is fixing potholes, Matt. If your vehicles increasing in numbers, you need to enlarge in the roads, Matt. This government is doing nothing with a level of foresight.
Well, won't you say though? I mean, just a point there. Won't you say that they're doing some works on the road from say Castle Bruce to the Carib Junction in Marigot? And won't you say they're doing the roads in Grand Bay or widening the road in that area as well?
The government have a responsibility to do roads. But when you have a road that is a nuisance now, that human traffic for hours trying to get into roads, a whole hour.
Oh yes. I just proved that.
Traffic, man, that is nonsense. And the government, if they have foresight, they would look for alternative routes and enlarging the road, man. But we can move this up till today. But you there?
Yes, I'm right here.
Up till today, they still have houses building on the rivers, on the seaside of Maho. That is something the government should have moved. Matt, it's just not going to get better. Because these people don't care about people's time.
But your point is to improve the road network. That's what your point is. The
road network, but
yes.
more so from Portsmouth to Roseau. Enlarging the damn road, Matt. They are Chinese. We moved from China to Taiwan. And you're taking the 17 of road as a payment for that. We should enlarge the road, Matt. How can a man negotiate with the Chinese and come into the surface road? That is absolute nonsense, Matt, and scary me to do something now. We cannot allow the country. You're going to work for the state, Matt.
Uh-huh.
In other words, the country loses now. Hours doing nothing, Matt. Just they're stuck in traffic. Every country has traffic, I must admit, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
But you will see the traffic moving. A country like Dominica cannot waste time with a one-lane road. One lane up, one lane down. That is nonsense. Something should have been done. We have never even spoke about a flyover. Nothing.
And especially on the days of tourists, when we have some people trying to get to work and they'll be at work maybe half an hour, an hour later.
These people trying to talk about development. You have tourists blocking development in Dominica. Every time there's a tourist ship, nothing can happen in the country. The road always blocked. They always fuck up when you can't get into Roseau. Right in today's day and age, the container port should not be a tourist spot. They sell public works to their friends. That is why you should be expanding for tourists outside of public works. Matt, we need to see something different happening. They need to address that nonsense, Matt. You're taking people money in traffic, license every year, and you're doing nothing to give people a chance to use their vehicle and get into roads on time. That's my contribution, Matt.
All right, thank you. Yes, as a matter of fact, a young man was actually trying to get to me this morning. He said, man, I ordered a vehicle, 2010 vehicle. It looks very, new and, of course, miles limited. But the price to bring a vehicle in, if it's lower than 2010, it's a mammoth task. People are paying a lot more money, and that's the only only a vehicle they can afford because of the price. Hello, talk to me. Well, that's another argument as well. Hello, yes?
Not to continue, this is what you call a lazy government. You failure. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And I'm sure people will say, well, there's improvement on the roads there from the Casper Junction to Carib Territory. So you have different arguments on that, but I can tell you definitely, I just proved it about half an hour ago, trying to get to work. Took me almost an hour from Point Michelle to Roseau. Something has to be done, at least a bypass in the Newtown area. Something has to be done to improve vehicular flow. Huh? Hello, talk to me, yes?
Hello, Matt.
Good afternoon to you.
Hello, Matt. Washburn Coffee here. Hearing me?
Yes, Mr. Washburn Coffee, how you doing?
Yes, Matt. I'm calling in my capacity as the secretary of the Monjon River Civic Grandson Constituency Association of the UWP. I just want to use a quick opportunity on your program, Matt, to really make a special appeal to all Dominicans, UWP supporters, members, all persons interested in Dominica, in the development, seriously interested in the development of Dominica, to really make a special effort and to prioritize on Sunday to attend that massive, what is expected to be a massive national rally at grand format. We as the Monjon River Civic Grand Association, we are particularly pleased at this time that such a rally is taking place in Grand Four, and we are very happy to be the host of such a rally. That this rally should be significant. It should really be a defining moment for Dominica, man. Even where things are in Dominica, all the stress, the bad management, the lack of accountability, a lot of mistakes in government operation, environment declaration, not with the list can go on and on that. It's not for me to enumerate all the problems in Dominica at this time, but really to make a special appeal to all Dominicans to put their best foot forward and to be at grand format. We are pleased that we have Dr. Fontaine, very capable, technocratic man at the helm of the UWP at this time to lead this fight for change, man. And we are very pleased to have Dr. Fontaine at the helm. We will be very much behind him as a community, as a constituency. So I'm asking all the adjacent communities, from Daly Seas right down to Grand Fond, and including, of course, our neighbors in Capitus and all Dominicans, man, to really make it their business on Sunday to be at Grand Fond, to be part and parcel of this major, what is going to be a major rally, man. We are getting massive.
What type of support do you think Mr. Fontaine has on the ground at this time in your area? Are you there?
Sorry?
I said, what type of support do you think Mr. Fontaine, the leader of the United Workers' Party, has in that constituency at this time?
Well, Matt, I cannot get you too clear, let me see.
I'm asking you again. I'm saying, what type of support you're on the ground there in that constituency? What type of support do you think Mr. Fontaine has in that constituency?
I mean, we need the moral support, first of all. We need the attendance of persons, because you see, the DLP, and you heard this, Mr. Skerritt in a recent press conference, suggesting that the UWP has lost 60% of its membership map. We want to prove Mr. Skerritt otherwise. And therefore, the attendance of persons at that meeting is going to be very crucial. But more importantly, Matt.
Well, that's what I'm asking you the question, and you seem to be running away from the question. I'm saying you are on the ground. How much support do you think that Dr. Thompson Fontaine, do you think he is strong in that constituency? Because there are other people saying he may not be that strong. How do you gauge what you see on the ground?
Well, we believe he's strong, Matt. We believe he's strong. we have seen a drift map away from the Labour Party members in that area map. They are very disappointed with the level of representation that they've been able to receive from Greta Roberts' map. It's an understatement to say that this is...
So you're basically saying that you think Greta is a waste of time. She has not represented that constituency.
And Mr. Fontaine is bringing to the table a lot of foresight, a lot of experience. He's a financial economist expert. I compare Dr. Fontaine to that gentleman in Canada, Mr. Harvey, who was governor of the Bank of England and the Bank of Canada. Mr. Fontaine is in a similar position to bring the kind of experience, know-how, and foresight into the financial planning and development of Dominica. He's far above what Greta Roberts can offer to the Grand Forks constituency. So we believe that given Mr. Fontaine being a man of the soil and the potential for him to be the first prime minister hailing from that area, we believe that the people in that area, the community on our own, will have no choice, no doubt, and to vote Thompson Fontaine whenever the next general election is called back.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, we're expecting more calls, so we have a guest joining us at the top of the hour. So let's take a break. We'll come back.
It's now here, so let me go. People from the north, south, east, and west, from Grand Bay to Portsmouth, Salisbury to Lapland, to Lamoon, the United Workers' Party presents the massive Grand National Rally, where the Grand Four playing field, yes, the Grand Four playing field, when Sunday, February 1st, 2026. At what time? We're starting from 12 noon with our next Prime Minister under the theme, putting Dominica first, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Come be part of great music, real talk, and entertainment. Of course, and great food. Macklin, I find you off that boat soon, Papa. Remember, it's February 1st, Sunday, February 1st, the Grand Four playing field. Putting Dominica first, the United Workers' Party.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to make it through. Who's going to stay in the queue? Yes, it's all about Kaiser semi-finals, Saturday, 31st January 2026, 8:30 p.m. at the Windsor Park Stadium. 20 great Calypsonians going to be battling. Only 9 could make it to the finals. So you got to be there. They're backed up by the Swings Bank. Early bird tickets $50, regular $60, seating $80, VIP $130, pay-per-view $30 US. Come see who's gonna meet the Queen. Guest artists Queen Joy and Booyah Sensation Juan Dan. It's all about Calypso semi-finals, Saturday 31st January, 8:30 p.m. sharp at the Windsor Park. Sponsored by Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Tropita Water, Henneken Beer, Flow Dominica, Discover Dominica Authority, Jungle Bay, Domlek, Fresh Market, Do It Center, Big Edge, Pepper's Pizza, ICWI, Carry FM, Vibes Radio, QFM, DBX Radio, Adam Songs, The Factory,
If you know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited, over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy drink, and of course, Sunblast juices, Topper snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in Dominica.
All right, Dominica, we're here. Your favorite guest on the show at this time on StreamYard, Mr. Andy Jolly, addressing some of the issues of the day. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Jolly. How are you doing today? How are you?
Good afternoon, Matt. Everything is good. Thank you.
You sound good. You look like you're fit right now. You're in the gym.
Well, I'm going to the gym. As you know, Matt, I'm in Seattle right now, and Seattle's on fire. To all those out there who don't know, Seattle is
fire.
Yes,
All up
dude.
cold?
Dude, it is. You know, as you know, we're in the Super Bowl again, and you know we're gonna be defeating New England Patriots, and everybody here is excited, Matt. There's so much going on, so much happening, tons of money moving around, Matt. Believe it or not, the starting price for a ticket to go to the Super Bowl is about $9,000 US
US
per person.
per person.
Per person.
$9,000 to go to a game.
To the game, that's right. This year, believe it or not. So it's
If you need to get VIP, how much you would pay?
Matt. It's starting at 9.
So it's what?
Going up. No. I'm right here. Everything from there going up is just, it's phenomenal. And not only that, Matt, there'll be more people from Seattle going to this game this year than ever before, because Seattle is highly favored to win the Super Bowl. So there's a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz in the air, tons of money going around. But you know, I just wanted people to know, you know, the excitement. It's almost like being on the winning team, you know, for a long while. So it's great. All things in Dominica.
And before you go on, I mean, it's very cold right now. So how are you going to go to that game and enjoy that game? Very cold right now, freezing temperature.
Well, the game is actually going to be in California, so over in San Diego. So it's a little warmer over there on this side. And a lot of people are gonna be heading that direction. So, but Matt, believe it or not, the cold does not bug people over here. I mean, I go to the gym in the morning and there are guys walking in with short pants and t-shirts, and that's the normal attire. Believe it or not.
Normal attire. It's freezing cold.
Yeah.
Well, Andy, what of Dominica's? You know, it's the same like as you left it. Nothing new.
Okay.
But, you know, people are still, you know, trying to make everything work.
People are still shaken up a little bit. I know we had this visa crisis before I left, and I know it hasn't gotten better since then. So there's been quite a few shakeups in the area, and things are changing continuously on the political front and on the international front. I hope our political leaders are taking note, but it's a pleasure to be here with you. And I know we have a few items on the table because since I've left, there's been a few things that have taken place, and I want to give you my views on some of those, and let people know kind of what's the progressive thinking. I know a lot of people, Matt, sometimes don't identify with my views or with a lot of the views that are put out there. And lately, Matt, I actually heard that there's a lot of criticism out there that possibly when I come on, or maybe some of your other guests come on, that we are talking bad about Dominica, or maybe we're degrading Dominica. And I want to let people know, well, that's not the intention out there. You know, and we want to see a very progressive Dominica, and we're really looking and hoping to see a better Dominica.
Well, let me just interject here, Andy, and say that you know, I spoke to the leader of the United Workers Party who just left Washington. He spent a couple of days there talking to U.S. officials, and he did indicate, as you said, maybe 2 weeks ago, that things will get a lot worse before it gets better. You said that just before you left.
Yeah, and I did mention that to quite a few people, and people say, well, what do you mean when you say it's getting worse? And people have to understand what's happening right now is the regulations are tightening up. The culture, so call it, of America First is being put forward, and also there's a lot of wasteful spending that has been noticed and is being cut off. And a lot of these so-called wasteful spending, maybe they were doing good for countries like Dominica, or maybe they were doing good for countries, smaller countries around the world. But people are beginning to notice that they prefer to spend their money on themselves rather than give it out to everybody else, or play a charitable role in everybody's life. So therefore, smaller countries like Dominica are going to suffer. And one of the main reasons why we will probably suffer more than a lot of other people is because we had a lot of golden years. We had a lot of good years where we may have had a lot of funding, or we may have had a lot of revenue that was generated by the things that we were doing. For instance, the passports that were being sold. For instance, the other illegitimate gains that we may have had from some of the other investments that the political leaders engaged in. But right now, that loophole is being closed very tightly. And in the good words of the Bible, every man for himself and God for us all is what is prevailing right now, Matt.
Very, very, very seriously. Before you came on, and we'll go back to the CBI issue. Somebody's making the point that we need to change the road network or fix the road network, because it takes a ton of time to get into the city. We need to, of course, try to get some bypass. When the tourists are in the city, it's a mess. It's a mess getting to work. What recommendations you would have for the government in terms of this, you know, fixing the roads in transportation, getting to the city?
Well, Matt, on your show, I remember we approached this several times, and I think the first time that we actually talked about it seriously was the time that you were actually half an hour late for the show. And
I was today.
Today, well, there you go. So history is repeating itself to some extent. So the first time we talked about this, you were half an hour late for your show, and the half an hour was not caused by the fact that you were very far from the building. The half an hour was caused by the fact that one, there was immense amount of traffic. Number two, we had the problem where you couldn't find parking. So a lot of the problems that we have in Dominica has to do with two fundamental issues. The first one, that is probably the easiest the government can work on, and Matt, I want to interject in this for just a second, because you know I'm a big
Are you still there? Hello?
Yes, Matt,
go ahead.
I'm right here. As you know, I'm a big supporter of President Trump, and And I know that there are a lot of people out there that don't support President Trump. And I'm not here to get on a soapbox today about that. But one of the interesting things about President Trump, like him or don't like him, what you'll notice is the guy is continuously working and moving. And not only that, he put an agenda in front of the people, his voters, before he came in. And if you notice, he is running through his mandate and checking off all the boxes. So he's continuously in motion. He's doing things. And his agenda was one that he was proud of. And really and truly, President Trump is almost at a point where his clients, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about anything but us. His sole total focus is on America first. He has no other agenda. He wants to bargain for America. He wants the best deal for America. He wants the best, and he is so America-centric. I wish our government was that way. So to go back to our discussion, one of the most interesting things the government can do, and this is something that Mr. Skerritt could do with pulling out a pen and just writing on the paper, is create more parking so that people do not have to drive into Roseau. So we need some sort of commuter system that is going to be better than the one we have. The second thing on that, parking is number one, but the second thing we need in Dominica is a bus terminal. 90% of the traffic in Roseau is caused by the buses, the bus stops, and all those anything associated with buses in Dominica. And I want the bus drivers to have a good living and make a life for themselves. But guess what? Give them a location. Give them a bus terminal where people can concentrate. They can pick up people, and basically things can happen with that regard. We need to fix that problem where everything and every piece of business is not done in Roseau. And if you notice something, Matt, that's happening again, a lot of the businesses are trying to get out of Roseau because Roseau is no longer a viable place to do business. It is congested. And if I was Mr. Skerritt, I would be very concerned too. If you notice something, Matt, and this is almost embarrassing or insulting to be the leader of a country and you yourself cannot even get to work on time from coming under the cliff. The GAs that come into town overtake all the vehicles on the Kenfield Cliff. They drive recklessly into Roseau. And all that is caused by the fact that we have a leader that has not made any arrangements for traffic. The second part of fixing the traffic in Roseau is that we have parking on both sides of the road. There should not be parking on both sides of the road in Roseau. Now, not that I don't want people to park, but the movement of traffic is more important in any city than anything else. If you notice, Matt, most big cities or most cities that you go to around the world, the essence is really not on parking. It's on movement. And if there is no movement, then Matt, commerce is going to slow down. And what we're doing is that, yes, we are getting a few tourist ships on. We block the bayfront. We block the gardens. We close off several areas when we're having Parliament. Matt, I don't know if you could answer me this question. I've never seen this of any other administration. Why are we blocking off the main road, which is from DBS all the way to probably the Negmawa statue? Why are we blocking that off during Parliament?
To avoid the noise. And when you pass outside of Parliament, it's not soundproof. So you hear a noise, a lot of honking taking place. So that's why I think they're blocking off the area. So to avoid the noise going into Parliament.
Yeah, but Matt, when we do that on a day that has tourists as well, we kill ourselves. Do you agree? I mean, we're just so probably what needs to be done is what they did in Grenada, for instance, is take Parliament out of the city. If you don't want any noise, let's bring Parliament up to Mont Daniel. I think Mr. Skerritt has a nice house up there. Let's bring it up to probably Mont Bruce. Let's get these things out of the city. There's too much happening in a small space. And Matt, it goes to the main thing that I focus on in every business that I own: efficiency.
Well,
Where there's lack of
and
efficiency,
go back to North America, because a lot of people seem to be disappointed. I know you're a Trumper, so you can speak to that. A lot of people seem to be disappointed, especially with what's going on with ICE. Deporting persons there in America who does not have the legitimate papers. But they're saying now ICE is overreacting, and people in America now are very, very upset about what's going on. Do you like the treatment of ICE that that they're passing down to persons?
Well, here's what I'll tell you. Don't really focus too much on what you see on the news. Here's the thing, Matt. ICE has been around for several years. ICE has been there since Ronald Reagan. They've been there for Obama. In fact, Matt, go back to Obama. Obama was one of the presidents that actually deported the most number of people. I am going to tell you that the small group of people who are involved in creating this chaos, the agitators, if you want to call them that, have the idea.
So you like Trump now? You're blaming the people and not.
I'm not blaming the people. There are a small faction of people that say, "Hey, we want everybody in the country." Matt, I'm going to tell you, even for Dominica, if we
what? For some reason,
sorry. If we started, we lost. Yes, Matt. Sometimes calls come in. If we started to go ahead, Matt, and just let numerous people in. Think of this for a second. If we close down our customs and we just let everybody into Dominica, you didn't know who belonged, who didn't belong, who was there for whatever reason, how long they were staying, I think we'd have a problem. In fact, Dominica, and should not even talk about this, because in Dominica, our customs and border is one of the tightest in the Caribbean. In fact, we have it tighter than most of the other islands in Dominica. Our customs and border. In fact, Matt, here's what I want to tell you. Why don't you even try this sometime? Try getting off a boat, or try getting into Dominica without going for customs and border, and guess what would happen to you? Look at what happens to people when they come into Dominica illegally. So we need to understand we ourselves are guilty of what ICE is going through. We have a version of ICE in Dominica. It's called Customs and Border. So,
but before you go on, hold that point before you go on, because somebody's saying Parliament at this stage of our development, Parliament should be made to be soundproof. We're in 2026, and I agree. Go ahead, Andy.
I definitely agree with that statement. But Matt, we have the same thing going on, and in order for a country to be good and to be operational, I think we have to have borders that are protected. Matt, there's a real big problem over here. I know people in Dominica don't see it. I live here, I work here, I hang out in the neighborhood, and I'm going to tell you there's a real big problem of people who have come in that are undocumented, and a lot of these people, I'm not saying all of them are causing a lot of chaos.
Hold that point there, because I know a lot of people are going to talk about that, because a lot of people seem angry, even those who have voted for Trump seem very angry as to what is going on currently with the United States. Obama may have deported more people, but it was not done in that draconian manner. Somebody saying it was done solely under the law. Did you see ICE shooting or kidnapping people under President Obama? That's the question to you.
Well, I don't think ICE is shooting anybody going around and just shooting people just blatantly. I am going to tell you, Matt, I was brought up as a child, and probably you as well, to respect law enforcement. When we were brought up, I can tell you now, we may not respect the police chief that we have currently, or who is the acting police chief or whatever he is. We may not respect him very well because of the things he's probably done in his past or the situations that he's placed Dominica in. But we were taught that our policemen were heroes. And we were taught that law enforcement was something that we needed to follow and to listen to. And what we have now is a lot of people taking the personal approach that they can challenge law enforcement. And this is the situation that we have.
But do you think that's happened in America? Because I saw from one of the videos I saw there that some persons want. I mean, the ICE agents were overreacting. That's what I saw.
Well, like I said, Matt,
As a matter of fact, Trump took a decision to send back the supervisor in Minnesota back to California. Yeah.
Again, like I said, Matt, I respect law enforcement. When I see the flashing blue lights, red and blue lights in my taillight, I stop or I pull over. When a police officer asks me a question, I respond. A lot of people have taken the decision that they're better than the police, or they can confront the police, or they can beat the police. Policemen are no different than you and me. I myself, I carry a firearm. I'm very, very good with it. I practice often and regularly. And I'm going to tell you, Matt, I'm in a position where if something's happening to me on a personal level, where somebody's creating some sort of agitation, I am forced to defend myself. So they are in the same situation, and they're human beings too. We need to understand that law enforcement is doing the job that they're hired to do. If you, Matt, walked out of your door today and you decided to challenge a police officer, we've seen in Dominica several times where people challenge police officers and they get a beating. We've seen that they have been malhandled by police in Dominica. And all these people that are upset here on the phone.
Two wrongs make a right?
Well, no, it doesn't mean two wrongs make a right. But, Matt, we never heard them say one word when these things happened in Dominica, when people got brutalized in the cell, when we had people unjustly arrested. We just had a riot in Dominica, well, they call it a riot, and Matt, there were several people who were arrested unjustly.
And of course, you saw a number of Dominicans standing up like they're doing right now in America.
Yeah, but not where are all the voices? Where are the voices? So we have to understand, Matt, to some extent that we have to respect law enforcement. Law enforcement is doing their job. We need to understand that we're a civilized society. We have to take things. But Matt, there are a lot of agitators, and I can tell you, this small pocket of the country, keep in mind the U.S. has 51 states. Minnesota is only one of them. And usually, Matt, this comes from literally states that are not willing to work with the federal government, and this is the agitation that it causes. We all need to work together to create a better world.
Would you agree that, as somebody stating there, that funny ICE has been sent only to democratic states, terrorizing those states? So would you agree with that?
I will not agree with that for the simple reason because I know the protocol and I'm more familiar with it. And what I'm going to tell you is that a lot of the democratic states that you've seen these actions taken are what they call sanctuary cities, meaning that, for instance, Matt, somebody comes to Dominica illegally and you want to hide them at your home and you want to keep them in the country illegally. And what happens, Matt, a lot of the other constituencies or a lot of the other states are actually working together with the government. They're saying, hey, this person does not belong here. We're happy to give them to you. But the democratic states and the sanctuary cities that you're seeing those problems in, they do not want to work with the federal government. And that is why you're seeing this chaos. But again, I want people to understand the news media will swing things several different ways. Don't get too concerned with that. Right now, Matt, I'm going to tell you, for all those who are out there, we are having the economy of our life in America. If you are invested in America, if you're a business owner, you are doing better than expected.
As we talk economy, I know you were going to get to that point. I am hearing that, President Trump at this time are getting low numbers as it relates to the economy. So he's not doing too well and he's concentrating on just the migration issues, and he's not doing too well. I've seen all the surveys. He's not doing too well as opposed to the economy. Do you agree?
I would disagree with that, Matt. The numbers are out there, and we don't care about the numbers. I am explaining to you right now as what people are seeing in the actual pocket. I'm giving you the exact thing. I'm going to tell you right now, President Trump, the big beautiful bill that he put together, has put more money in people's pocket. Right now, there's no tax on tips. There's no tax on overtime. My employees are making a significant amount of money. Imagine, Matt, if they did this in Dominica, no tax on your overtime. If you worked overtime hours, you were allowed to keep 100% of that money. Probably we would have a more productive society. President Trump they also changed the tax code as well, Matt. I don't know if you're aware of that. The tax code for this 2026 change, meaning that you can actually make more money and pay less taxes. President Trump actually improved the discounts and the tax reduction for businesses as well as healthcare. So I'm going to tell you right now, and if you look at the stock market, it shows. So for those of you all who are concerned as to what the right poll is, look at the stock market. The stock market is at an all-time high. Anybody who's invested in the stock market, Matt, they're making money. Last year, I did very, very, very well in the stock market, for instance. So I'm going to tell you, Matt, truth be told, that Americans right now have more money in their pocket than they have had. Not only that, they're actually planning a distribution for just about every tax-paying citizen in America. Right now, President Trump is designing that to give them up to $2,000 back tax credit.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a break. I know there are a lot of people want to ask you questions, especially on these Trump issues. But we'll take a break. We'll come back. Stick around, Andy. Stick around.
Okay.
Stick around.
All right. Perfect.
We're going to come back, Dominica. Interesting conversation there. The numbers are 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257. You're going to come back after this.
Hello, people from the north, south, east, and west, from Granby to Portsmouth, Salisbury to Lapland, Tullamoon. The United Workers' Party presents the massive Grand National Rally, where the Grand Four playing field, yes, the Grand Four playing field, when Sunday, February 1st, 2026. At what time? We're starting from 12 noon with our next Prime Minister under the theme, putting Dominica first, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Come be part of great music, real talk, and entertainment. Of course, and great food. Macklin, I find you off that bus serving, Papa. Remember, it's February 1st, Sunday, February 1st, the Grand Four playing field. Putting Dominica first, the United Workers' Party.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to make it through. Who's going to stay in the queue? Yes, it's all about Kaiser semi-finals, Saturday, 31st January 2026, 8:30 p.m. at the Windsor Park Stadium. 20 great Calypsonians going to be battling. Only 9 could make it to the finals. So you got to be there. They're backed up by the Swingers Bank. Early bird tickets $50, regular $60, seating $80, VIP $130, pay-per-view $30 US. Come see who's gonna meet the Queen. Guest artists Queen Joy and Booyah Sensation Kwan Dan. It's all about Calypso semi-finals, Saturday 31st January, 8:30 p.m. sharp at the Windsor Park. Sponsored by Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Tropical Water, Henneken Beer, Flo Dominica, Discover Dominica Authority, Jungle Bay, Domlet, Fresh Market, Do It Center, Big Edge, Pepper's Pizza, ICWI, Carry FM, Vibes Radio, QFM, DBX Radio, Adam Songs, The Factory,
I just me goal winning Roseau again. Same place outside Flossies. I tried to dock in, but you had time see me. Well, story start again. Million, lot of my power with us, huh? Saga fella, I said the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossies, and you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I'm busy. It's to hear him way. You reckon? About my pocket the boy. I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh, shucks, man. Well, when you're still telling me, I know already. Tu paga respect moi. When I get him up here for Palais, I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Floss's, right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Floss's can't do it to you.
If you know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited, over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy drink, and of course the Sunblast juices, Toffee Snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in Dominica.
Point linetman a sou tabla ba mwen. Fè vite souple, mwen presse.
Ça let me see Mac. Maka way.
Eh ben, isan akwedi ou pa ka bien. Ouais, milinet la, même côté à moi dou la.
Là y est toute l'air. Ek mate ka way?
Ça vle di ou bizwen ale Optifam vitman avant zyo vin pli mauvais.
Ti mwen Mac. Pis pa jodi mwen ni problem epis de mwen.
Eh ben, c'est Optifam qui ni pli meilleur docteur zé en peya. A pa di sa, Optifam jatiwe en chay l'argent à sou frame linet. Et yo ni pli belle frame linet ki en style.
Tout ça, eh ben, mwen kay check pressure mwen avant, ek apwe nay Optifam.
Non à tout fi. Ale la même. Puisque yo ka check pressure zyo, examine zyo pour licence chauffeur, check pour pisa dou, et yo ka jik manager maladie die glaucoma et puis cataracte.
Bon, ki kote Optifam ye?
Optifam at 223 Great Marlborough Street, 2 Point Queens, Amazon. Telephone 440-8486. Eh bien, 285-8676.
Bon Dieu, merci oui pour Optifam. Yo se limo yon pour occupation zio.
Treat yourself, your family, or a loved one to a comprehensive eye examination at Optifarm Eye Center to check for 20/20 vision. Also inquire about or telemedicine services, filling of external eyeglasses prescriptions, and specials on eyewear.
Also opened is A Medic Urgent Care and Telemedicine Center, offering specialized and general healthcare. Call 612-1328 or come in for your appointment. You could also visit our new location at Casapora Bay Street, Portsmouth.
Yes, a lot of questions. I know Andy's still here. Andy, are you still there? You have not run away, right? Uh-oh. Andy, I suspect we have... Are you there, caller? I suspect we have lost Andy. Andy, you there? Okay, just hold on.
There we go. Matt, I'm right here with you, Matt. I'm right here with you.
Yeah, okay. I thought you had run away, Andy, because
No. well, Matt. The problem is that we're talking about these international issues, and to tell you which do affect us significantly. And like you mentioned, Thompson Fontaine came back with a lot of good information and these international issues. But Matt, we have a lot of personal issues at home as well too.
You are able to answer. So let's take a phone call. Are you there, caller?
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that. 449-309-5997. Hello, yes. Keep calling. Keep calling.
You know, the callers are waiting. They're waiting a long time. We keep them waiting, Matt.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll keep talking as well. Are you there, caller? They are, of course, coming in and going back out. So please be a little patient. Please be a little patient. You have to call right now. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but Matt, I can't answer to a lot of these issues.
Yes, go ahead.
I can answer to a lot of these issues. And remember, Matt, when I came on your show a couple months ago, I told you that there's a lot coming down the line and there's a lot happening. So we have to be patient to see how things settle. But Matt, what I wish we were doing is, instead of watching what's going on all those places, we have to start taking care of ourselves, because things are going to get immensely hard on us right now. And I think I've mentioned this on your show. The stance that we're taking as a government right now, if we don't have our government officials, or cannot put enough on our government pressure on our government officials, I believe the next stop for us is that we're probably going to end up in a position like Cuba. And I've told you that before. Our governments really need, and this is a wise word for Mr. Skerritt out there, you need to take heed. You need to pay attention to the signs and what is going on. And Matt, I am also going to tell you this as well. A lot of people feel like at the last press conference of Mr. Skerritt, he was almost on the beach. It's almost
before you continue, let's take a phone call. Go ahead. People are trying to call in, but for some reason they're not connected. But you're making a point about this news conference held recently.
The last news conference that you were on, a lot of people thought that the questions were it was almost a publicity stunt, meaning that the questions were too easy for Mr. Skerritt. A lot of the questions were not pertinent questions, and I think a lot of the general public feels like Mr. Skerritt does not answer the questions properly, so therefore the press does not press him. No pun intended talking about that. But the press does not really put pressure on him to answer the questions correctly, or answer the questions asked by the people, or what the ideas are that we're trying to get. Because half the time, you or Carly or any of the other people come out of those press conferences, the people are actually more confused when you come out than when you went in. So
somebody's actually saying here, Matt, we should stop focusing on Trump when we have our own Trump in Dominica. Do you agree with that? Are you?
I agree.
You agree?
I agree. I don't think we have our own Trump in Dominica. I believe, and this is my honest opinion, I think Mr. Roosevelt Skerritt has been one of the laziest prime ministers that we've ever had represent Dominica. He has, don't get me wrong, a lot of the things that he has done will not or have not impacted the lives of regular Dominicans.
Here's a question for you, Andy. You've been very critical of the prime minister. Is there any area you'd want to give him some praise in terms of positive?
Matt, it's very, very. Let me put it this way. It's almost like saying, well, he's good at this, but everything else he sucks. If the prime minister is good at something, then Dominica should be excelling in whatever it is. So anybody out there who's able to tell me what Dominica as a country is excelling in right now, I would be happy to let them know that I will support them, because we are almost last in the Caribbean right now on just about every issue that I can possibly think of. So I'm going to tell you, there's nothing that I think that Mr. Skerritt has done that I have not seen any of the other islands do better. Does that make sense to you, Matt, a little bit?
I'm listening, yeah.
So compared to his peers, Dominica gets an F. And I'm not saying that we have not had improvements for those who are out there. I'm not saying that Mr. Skerritt has not done things. I am saying compared to the peers, whether it be St. Kitts, whether it be you're looking at St. Lucia, whether you be looking at Trinidad, whether you be looking at St. Vincent, Dominica has fallen last in line.
Hold on, Andy. Hold on. Are you there, caller? Yes?
Yes, Matt, I'm there.
Yes.
You know I am somebody, Lucy, who always love to hear Andy Jolly speak.
Right.
But today, I watch him as though in other options, I watch him as though, well, he's supporting Trump just like those who support Skerritt in Dominica for no reason. Because of all the wrongs I'm watching and seeing Trump doing and Trump making his soldiers do whatever they are, I cannot believe that. Thank you.
So Andy, somebody who supports you, say you're supporting Trump, and you're basically criticizing Skerritt in Dominica, not
well. I've always, again, Matt, I'm a businessman. I've always been. I think I've supported the Republican Party. I have studied Trump, and I want to tell people out there: don't stay too focused on the news. The news media is there to sell you news. In fact, they started a news station to report good news, and it failed within a month. Simply because good news doesn't sell. And we want to make sure that we're not just going out there listening to propaganda. If Americans, Matt, are dissatisfied with the laws of the United States, they have a Congress, they're able to vote on it, and they're able to change it. So if America says we no longer want ICE, they are able to do that. And if America says we no longer want secure borders, we're able to do that. Again, like I said, it is really hard for me to go blame the people who are doing their job. It's like you walking in Roseau and a police is arresting a guy who steals something from a store, and you said, well, don't arrest that guy. He was just hungry. But stealing is against the law. So whatever the laws of the nation are, these people are following it. So if you disagree with the laws of a country, just because you disagree with them doesn't make your opinion right. So I personally consider myself a lawful, law-abiding citizen. So I am following the laws. At some point, maybe we will change the laws, but I want people to understand out there, your personal opinion does not get to change the laws. And the reason why I think many people may disagree with me, Dominica is one of the Caribbean islands that has the least laws. And we also have a prime minister that has blatantly told us that he does not believe in law or constitution in Dominica.
Let's talk about laws. What is the latest with your situation down here?
In terms of what? I have several situations. In terms of Kondwani Williams.
Is it moving forward?
Actually, we have filed a civil case, and I believe the police and the DPP is filing a criminal case against the Kondwani Williams right now. Mr. Williams, Matt, and I'm going to tell you, my prognosis does not look good. So even though we're filing these cases, Kondwani Williams currently, Matt, and I'm going to give people a current update, currently has about 5 people that he's embezzled out of their money, and the current attorney that we're using has 5 cases lined up against him, totaling to the tune of over $5 million. So I'm going to tell you, if you, Matt, woke up tomorrow morning and you were owing people of Dominica or investors in Dominica close to that amount of money, what would you possibly do with yourself?
Well, I'll tell you, 2:45. We'll keep following that story there. We'll be monitoring very, very closely. It's 2:45 in the afternoon, Dominica. Let's take a phone call. Are you there, caller? Oh, sorry, we missed that one. Somebody's saying, Matt, I'm listening. I just can't believe what I'm hearing. But let me, of course, read to that. Matt, tell Andy I need some of what he is taking for the cold weather in New York. He must be taking something for talking that nonsense about Trump and the economy. Because somebody's saying, let me see if I can read that to you. People want to stick with Trump there. As of late January 2026, polls indicated that Donald Trump's approval rating is experiencing a downward trend, hovering around 40 to 50% disapproval rate, reflecting a challenging start to his second term. Major concerns include inflation, the economy, and his handling of key issues. That's what's been reported there by one major newspaper in the United States. Yes.
Well, Matt, keep in mind, I told people don't listen to the polls and to the news. I'm going to look at normal Americans' pockets. And here's what I can tell you, Matt. If you want to listen to the weather report, then that's fine. And I'm okay with that. But if you have to look at what people are actually having in their pockets, if you have to look at the spending power that people have, I am going to tell you, it tells a different story and a different picture. If you have to look at people's 401k and what the amount of money that they have, it tells a different picture. So again, there's two different pictures here. People have to choose what they listen to. I, however, I'm a financial student. I myself, I'm a business person. I sit there and I write the checks every day. I look at the bank account. And I have to tell you, based on what the bank account says, based on what my employees do on a daily basis or how much they earn on a daily basis, I will tell you that is significantly up right now.
Are you saying the New York Times should not be trusted because that article came from the New York Times?
Keep in mind, Matt, New York is also a sanctuary state as well, too. Keep that in mind. So be careful.
About some other local issues. I know you've been monitoring Dave Wash. You've been monitoring the landslides in the Pishla area. What's your take?
Well, Matt, one of the things I noticed that I think they might have slowed down or stopped on some of the work in Dave Wash. One of the things that I ask myself every day, I'm concerned about Dominica. I'm concerned about the tourism, and not that the left hand knows what's happening to the right hand, but wouldn't it be fitting to know that maybe Miss Denise or maybe Mr. Roosevelt might come out and give us an update on the current situation, but we have to stay in wondering. The reason why we have to stay in wondering, Matt, remember when Dave Wash started, nobody actually informed us that Dave Wash started. So why would they inform us if Dave Wash stopped or if there was changes or what the plan is going forward? So it would be very nice if the administration.
My information suggests that there may have been a stop, but we'll keep following that story there.
Yeah.
There's something I don't think that you may have been listening to the professional. Mr. Skerritt might have to take a different angle at this Dave Wash issue and other issues on the ground, because from what I'm gathering, Mr. Skerritt, from my information, is not listening to the professionals that he always speaks about.
Yeah, but when has he listened to the professionals, though, Matt? And you know what? Here's what I want to go back to. I want to go back to a story that you possibly covered a while back. You know, the roof on the building of the grammar school fell in. And we were told that we were going to get a report on that, or maybe some insight.
The day before, they have demolished that building. It's in the process of demolition.
Yeah, but we never got the report. So this is why I'm saying that.
You're right about that.
Yeah. So the information is not forthcoming, and for And Mr. Scarrett as well, if you notice, and this is something I want to point out that has been most disheartening for me. He stands on the podium and he apparently is the Minister for Agriculture, the Minister for Tourism, the Minister for everything. So which leads me to think, Matt, in the next election, whenever that may be in our future life, why should we vote for any of the other cabinet members? Because we haven't heard anything from them. We don't know if they're doing anything. We don't even know if they're working. So the question becomes, why should we vote? And I'm going to use this one because I live in Casa Comfort. I actually live there. Why should we vote for Shakira? Why should we vote for the power rep for Kalibishi? Why should we vote for the power rep for Sufri, as Scott said? Why should we vote for the power rep for Roseau? So my point being that we have not heard anything or seen anything any of these people are doing. So are you saying that the entire rest of the cabinet, and I'm going to use the word that you taught me, Matt, last time, is mumu or the dotish? Or what's going on with the rest of the cabinet? We don't hear from the Minister of Health. Every time something comes up on the hospital, we hear from Mr. Roosevelt Skerritt. Every time there's something on tourism, we hear from Mr. Skerritt. So my question to you is, what is going on with the other, 18 people that are in his cabinet? So
Yeah,
I want...
you, Andy. Somebody's saying here, somebody close to the airport development says, Matt, is Andy ready to pay out on the bet he made for on the completion of the airport? You there?
I'm right here, Matt. I don't think I got anybody to take my $25,000 bet.
Somebody's betting you now that this airport will be completed
Within 5 years. The airport, if the airport can be completed within 5 years, then we can sit down and talk about it. Matt, everything.
You're saying the next 5 years.
Well, from since when we started talking. But Matt, the airport is I think everybody wants the airport. Matt, I fly into Dominica. In fact, I fly into Dominica every other month, and everybody wants the airport. I can tell you, it is not a fun program when you come around them coconut trees and the American Airlines, God bless their soul for those pilots, the wing of the plane is almost touching the coconut branch right down below. So I can tell you that is not a fun experience. I flew into many other Caribbean islands, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, and that experience is not an experience that anybody else gets except if you're flying into Dominica. However, Matt, I will tell you, it is nice to know that we have a brand new airport in Dominica, but where is the rest of the infrastructure? Where's the road that goes with the airport? Where's the commerce that goes with the airport? Where is the everything else? And I notice what we're doing, and this administration has been doing for a very long time, is that they are concentrating on one thing. They're concentrating on exactly what they're building. But you have to also realize, if you're building an international airport, if you go to Antigua, for instance, you'll see there's lots of other support features that go with the international airport. And whether it be the roads, whether it be the shopping infrastructure, whether it be everything else around it. So where is that being developed? So it's nice that you have an international airport, brother, but you have no road. It's nice that you have an international airport that you drop people off in Wesley, but we don't even have one hotel in Wesley. It's nice that you drop people off in Wesley, but if they need to buy a Tampax for the night, where are they going to go shop? You don't have a mall. You don't have a shopping center. You have nothing to correlate to that program. So
I'll tell you what, Andy, because I'm getting a lot of feedback here. I'm going to read one of them, which of course encompasses a lot of what people are saying this afternoon. I love Andy, but when it comes to his views on Donald Trump, I think he's very biased. Fox News, one of the most conservative news media, but has a very negative report on Donald Trump's performance. I feel like it hurts my pocket, especially when I go to the grocery store. That's one American talking to me at this time. So they love
Well,
you,
that,
but in terms of your views on Trump,
listen,
they think you're very biased. Yes.
listen, my views, listen, I tell people all the time, guys, I don't want you to be out there and think that you should think the same way I think. But you have to also consider walk a mile in my shoes. And I am a very, very down to the earth business person. And I have to tell you, I keep my hand on the pulse, what generates and move businesses. So you may be an employee, that's fine. You may be somebody else who works through social work or you do something else. That may not be your opinion. And I can only tell you what I experience on a daily basis. So keep in mind, I don't want you to agree with me, but I have to tell you what I see on a daily basis and what I
Somebody
experience.
agrees with you, and the person says Matt Dominicans has more on to worry about than Donald Trump. America, if people of America have issues with Donald Trump, let it be. But what Dominicans should be worried about is Mr. Skerritt and his problems for 20 years, and nobody seems to be worried about that. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Skerritt, and I want to ask all of y'all out there, how many people got a new Toyota Land Cruiser as a gift in 2025? How many people? If I have, Matt, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give $100 to anybody who bought a brand new vehicle in 2025 or who got a gift of a brand new vehicle in 2025. I'm going to put my dollars on the line because I'm going to tell you, why does your civil servant, Mr. Roosevelt Skerritt, do better than you? So anybody who bought a brand new 2025 vehicle in Dominica, please see me. Give me a ride in it. I will give you $100. I don't want to go far. If you take me probably just down Great Judge Street or King George Street, I agree with you. It's your vehicle. I give you $100. And if you want that money, I'll give it to you in US or in EC. Because our Prime Minister in Dominica received a gift worth about 92,000 US dollars last year, and nobody said nothing. So I'm going to put my money on the line. If you bought a brand new vehicle in 2025, that is a 2025 vehicle, I will give you $100. But your prime minister got one and nobody said nothing.
Show me the documents. Give me a call. I will, of course, ensure that you get your $100. US, he said? Is it US or
any currency you wanted it? If you want it in Chinese money, I have that too.
You can prove that you got a brand new vehicle in
2025. Brand new vehicle in 2025, and you got it or you got a gift. Maybe you have a rich uncle somewhere. I will give you 100, either US EC or I can do Chinese money too. No problem.
Oh boy, hello, talk to me. Yeah, put in your money where you
Hello,
want.
Matt.
Yes,
Matt, and still there?
I'm still there. Yes, good.
Well, listen to me.
I thought you were calling to say that you have a brand new vehicle.
No, listen to me. Listen to me. Tomorrow is semi-final, and the first two questions for me to win a VIP ticket. That is what we have to concentrate on.
So you're only worried about winning. You don't worry about the issues on the ground. So I'll get Andy to sponsor 2 tickets for tomorrow. Okay, so we'll talk about issues tomorrow.
Matt.
Yes, good day, Matt.
Good day. How you
I
doing?
was a very strong supporter of Mr. Jolly, but today they have lost all credibility.
Why?
No, but he wants to tell us, just like Trump and his administration, that what we see with our eyes is not actually what happened. Those officers are brutalizing people, and he himself made the statement that Obama deported more people than Trump or ever.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't see that chaos on the street in America. You understand?
Well,
There's a way of doing a thing, and there's a right way of doing a thing. And Trump is not doing it, and he's defending everything. America has more money, but the whole population rate Trump as the lowest in terms of the economy. What he was voted on to make the America for the economy. You say Trump has this America First agenda, but Trump has derailed that agenda and he's fighting wars in all other places that have nothing to do with America. And we all disagree with Kerry for the things that he do. But to call him lazy is not, it's far from the truth. Kerry is not lazy. He's misguided and he has wrong priorities. So his credibility, he has just shoot himself in his foot today. You understand?
All right, and you see, I tell you, some people
Well-
are mad with you
Well,
for
well,
3095. Are you there, caller? I know Andy can take it. Yes.
How are you guys doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
I am wonderful by the grace of God. Thank you. I called because I suspect Mr. Dangleban has to get my money ready for me in minutes.
Mr. Dangleban, that's Mr. Jolly.
Jolly.
Yes, Mr. Jolly, sorry. Oopsie. I'm sorry. My apologies.
You have gotten a new vehicle?
Yes, I bought myself
2025?
2026. It's 2026 Kia Sonic at Auto Trade. That's December.
All right, so Andy, you have 100 US for that lady, okay? So send the information on my cell phone, okay?
Yes, I got it.
225-6417, okay? Bring me the
225-6414.
no 225-6417, okay?
225-6417.
I guarantee that you'll get your money. This is the best.
You get the money.
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you.
Andy, you have 100 US there.
You know, Matt, I was hoping I could give out $1,000 today. So that's just here's what. But Matt, I tell people out there a lot of times, please keep in mind. Again, the news media is something that Dominicans focus a lot on. I'm going to tell you my real life experience. I am not here to tell you what you see on Fox News. I'm not here to tell you what you see on CNN. I manage several companies. I have about 400 to 450 employees right now. I can tell you what the employees are going through. I can tell you the growth that they're seeing. I could tell you which one bought a new house, a new car, a new boat. I can only give you my real life experience, and maybe you may not agree with my life experience, but until you walk a mile in my shoes, understand that this is what I personally right now I'm going through. In fact, Matt, I can tell you right now that every portfolio that I have in terms of all my stock portfolios are up about 33%. Every business that I own right now is up at about 25% right now. And I'm experiencing 25% growth.
Dominica this time.
You know, even my businesses in Dominica are doing very, very well. But then again, my businesses in Dominica are not really tied to Dominica.
Okay. All right.
So yes. So please keep in mind, I know that you might be upset with me, and I can tell you that under this administration, which is the Republican Trump administration, I have done significantly better under them than I did under the last Biden administration. Again, this is not name calling. You can call my accountant. I can send you my tax returns. I can show you what I did for the year, and I can actually prove this to you on paper. But if you want to listen to Fox News, if you want to listen to the New York Times and their ideas, and that's okay. But I am going to tell you that a lot of businesses are going to speak negatively because a lot of the spending. Matt, if you looked at one of the biggest stories that they had in Minnesota.
It's your reality.
My reality. But Matt, this is your reality as well, because here it is that you brought up what's happening in Minnesota and you watched the news. And you said a while ago, I listened to you carefully, Andy, look at what ICE is doing in Minnesota. Well, here's what I want to do. I want to put that aside to the public listening today. And I want to tell you, here's a gentleman that brought the fact that there was close to and maybe over $9 billion worth of fraudulent activity that was happening in the Somalian community. And a lot of that community was actually funneling taxpayer money into their own pocket, or they were funneling it into things that could pay for other ideas that were not current with the system. They had bad businesses. They were corrupt. And the gentleman brought that to the table. He ended up even on Capitol Hill. It made news all over the place. He was showing how much fraud and waste that was going on. But if you notice, not one of us talked about that for the morning. So we have to understand that the people, if I take your pocketbook away from you, that you were making fraudulent money, the fraudsters are out there right now. They don't like Trump. A lot of people who were making money illegitimately in America will not like Trump. So I'm going to tell you, don't just listen to the news and see the highlights and say, oh yes, oh that is horrible. Keep in mind, Minnesota has had, and they're going to speak for it. There is $9 billion, I'm going to tell you, US dollars worth of fraud that happened in Minnesota over the last 5 years. And nobody knows where that money went to. That money just disappeared. They were making up paper and sending fake bills to the government. So again, we need to understand world issues and we need to focus on everything. But there's a lot of things going on there. Take all of it into consideration. But one of the things I want to get back into is our small country, Dominica, because again, I care about Dominica. It's my home. It's where I live. It's where my father was. And I'm hoping that my son can visit and enjoy.
No. The point is, somebody's again coming back to the Trump issue. I thought his bet was, if you bought a vehicle in Dominica, that was his bet. So he's sticking to that. I agree that he's wealthy and doing well under Donald Trump administration. But what about the average American? Somebody's asked. What about the average American? Do you think the average American is doing so well? I know you're wealthy and you have said
well, yes.
Average American.
I again, Matt, I can speak for the people, my employees that I work with on a daily basis. I'm going to tell you, I think they're doing exceptionally well. I think my employees are doing well. I can only speak for them. I am going to tell you, I can't speak for the entire world because I don't have a clear picture. I don't live with everybody. I can't tell you that in my neighborhood what's happening. Again, like you have, if you're out there and you're not doing well, you have to say something. But I can tell you there's a very vibrant job market in America right now. Man, I have had people quit their job on a Friday and by Monday they're in a new position. And sometimes the Monday job, they are actually, and this is truth be told, Matt, the Monday job is paying them more. And Matt, I'm going to tell you, even my companies are hiring right now. If I could get 10 more skilled people to come and work for me today, I could have them working on Monday. So I am going to tell you my experience, and I apologize if people do not understand my experience or I'm understanding, but I'm going to tell you this. I can tell you what's happening to my friends, and I have several friends, most of them business people again. I apologize, but they are doing very well, and those people are supporting a lot of good causes.
It's
Those
your reality,
people,
Andy.
that's my reality.
Calls there 307. Are you there, caller? Yes.
Yes, I'm there.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Did you ask Sandy for me how is
You can ask him yourself. He's listening. Go ahead.
how is Jolly's Pharmacy Empire in Dominica? How are they doing financially?
But Andy is not directly involved. He may be a shareholder.
I can tell you, caller, I can probably help you a little bit on that. I'm going to tell you, Jolly's Pharmacy is a great establishment. I know my brother.
I would like that to be on air, man. I would love to hear it on air. I'm not hearing it on air. How are they doing financially and economically? Are they doing
But that's why he's trying to answer you, caller. Just stick around. Go ahead and wait for the answer. Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
Yes, I can tell you, Jolly's Pharmacy is a good establishment. It's run by my brother Oren. I assist him in several different ways in terms of knowledge, education. But here's what I am going to tell you. Jolly's Pharmacy started off close to almost 50 years ago. And if my company started off in 2008, which gives me just under 15 years. And I'm going to tell you, I have been able to grow my company significantly larger than Jolly's Pharmacy. Jolly's Pharmacy should be a household name in St. Kitts. It should be a household name in St. Lucia. It should have been a household name in Grenada, St. Vincent, even Trinidad. And compared to a lot of the other countries that have been able to get out of Dominica and see
Well, let me
significant
ask you a
growth,
question, Andy. I think when I
it's
want
still smaller.
basically try to lead you where the caller may be going. Is Jolly doing a lot better than it was 25 years ago?
I will tell you, there is that possibility. Yes, better than 25 years ago, simply because I think my dad made a lot of good investments 25 years ago.
All right. So maybe last
Yes.
year compared to
Yes.
this year, you can say so.
Last-
So the economy is good for Jolly Pharmacy.
Well, I think here's the thing, Matt, and people don't realize 25, 30 years ago, we bought land in Portsmouth, we bought land in Faucolet, and we had the idea that we were going to make these stores. It took us 25 years to make them. But Matt, one of the things that we are not holden to is that we're not paying rent. I recently decided to try to.
That's a good.
Yeah,
point.
I recently decided to try to rent a building in Roseau, Matt, and somebody told me it was $25,000 a month to rent the building, and in order for me to put a business that's going to generate that type of revenue, unless I'm not an insurance company or a big household bank, I wouldn't be able to rent the building. So if you had to go access a building today and start a business today, I will tell you it is very, very difficult because rents are very high. I'm going to tell you it is very challenging to start a business in Dominica right now, or even if you started it in the last few years, your cost of doing business in Roseau is extremely high right now. So we are able to weather some of that because we've been in business at Jolly's for a very long while. But I am going to tell you, it is very challenging, and this is why we've had to even make moves to move Jolly's out of Roseau, because I think if you had kept Jolly's in Roseau, the parking is an issue. I'm going to tell you, the fact that Roseau has no room for expansion is an issue. The fact that the policing of Roseau is an issue. The fact that the gutters in Roseau is an issue in terms of the drainage. I mean, we have a gutter, Matt,
And
that is
someone
up.
basically agreeing with you because it said yes, they may be doing better because the health services in Dominica are in a dump. No medication at public pharmacy. So yes, you may be doing a lot better. You agree with that
Yes.
point?
Yes, I agree with that point. But Matt, we've also made a lot of good moves as well. So if you've noticed, we've decentralized pharmacy and we've decentralized service to get service closer to the customers and put more services that right in front of the customer's face. So this is probably one of the reasons that we're doing better. And I wish more people would move their businesses out of Roseau, because to tell you the truth, having Melissa Skerritt as our power rep, she has done absolutely nothing for Roseau in the last, I'm going to put it 10 years. Nothing. I'm going to tell you, ask yourself for a second, what has our power rep done for Roseau in the last 10 years, Matt? If you can answer that question for me and give me probably 5 good things that she has done to help improve Roseau in the last 5 years, Matt, I can probably give you another $100 again.
All right, let me see if we can get 3:13 is the afternoon time. Let's get a voice note. Yes, go ahead, quickly.
Mr. Jolly, you are only thinking about you as a businessman with over 400 employees. You're talking, but what about the ordinary person out there who is depending on the government to survive? What about the ordinary person out there who is making the bare minimum? This is who we're talking about, and this is who you should always think about, Mr. Anderson Jolly. I'm just saying, because there are people who are as wealthy as you are, and maybe even wealthier, and they're not talking that way because they're not thinking of themselves. They're thinking of their neighbor. They're thinking of the ordinary person. That's what they're thinking of, and the future. Just saying, Mr. Anderson Jolly. Oh my God, you got me going this afternoon. This is crazy.
And some people confused here. Go ahead.
Matt, I can tell everybody out there, I apologize. I'm thinking of me, yes, but I also am thinking of my employees, and I can only affect my immediate circle. I cannot, look, if you are right now depending on the government for help, I'm going to tell you, you're in trouble. If you are out there and your job is not good or you don't have a good job, get a better job. If you are out there and you feel like you do not have the skills to compete with the new economy and the new world, go get some skills. There's education, there's learning, there's lots of stuff out there. So I'm not going to make any excuses for anybody out there, Matt. And the last thing I have to tell everybody out there, if Andy Jolly could do it, from Little Dominica, you can do it too, and we gotta get this thing moving. I cannot.
Doing very well, Andy. So why don't you? Somebody's asked. Why don't you jump in the ring in Dominica to try to, get us out of some of the problems that we're experiencing with the economy there? Somebody's just suggesting that. There.
Well, Matt. Here's the thing: is somebody asking me to jump in and take a pay cut? Why would somebody ask me to take a pay cut? Matt, I'm going to tell you something real quick, and I think I put this on one of my top things. We had Mr. Skerritt go ahead and pay Mr. Byron Burton over it's close to $700,000 to make some decisions on electoral reform in Dominica. Up to this day, we have not seen one piece of paper as to what Mr. Byron suggested. Matt, the real question is, for you and for everybody out there, if we had to have an election in Dominica today, do you honestly think we're ready, or do you think we're worthy? And if anybody answers yes to that question, that person has to consider the fact that Mr. Skerritt made some electoral reform changes, and we are going to accept what Mr. Skerritt did in his spare time to help his party and himself, not to help Dominica. But we're saying here on this radio station that you are going to accept the funky changes Mr. Skerritt did after paying $700,000 of Dominica's money to Byron to make suggestions and to make changes. But up to today, Matt, I can tell you, we have not seen these changes on paper. We have not seen the ideas that Mr. Byron put together, but nobody's questioning that fact. But they want me to jump in with my money and go and play in Mr. Skerritt circus with his little animals in the circus, and you want me, Andy Jolly, who's living a productive life, helping people out there, making money, to come and mess around in Mr. Skerritt with his CBI and the nonsense that he's doing down there. I'm going to tell you, leave him in the ring by himself, because I'm going to tell you, somebody's coming to get him sometime soon.
All right. Well, let me. We don't have too much for time, but a very interesting conversation here. And of course, I want to put that question to Andy this afternoon as we wind down. Very interesting conversation. Now, the question has been asked about. I just asked the question again to Mr. Thompson Fontaine yesterday. It is being said that CBI is going down a precipice, so we won't find that kind of revenue coming in there anytime soon in Dominica. So Andy, if it's dead, will you still keep CBI, or would you phase it out gradually? Because there's no other revenue coming in like we have seen in the CBI. So what would you do if you were the Prime Minister tomorrow, Mr. Andy Jolly? What would you do?
Well, Matt, there's really no reason to get rid of CBI, and I don't think anybody was asking to get rid of CBI. What the countries that were interested in the CBI program that Dominica is doing is that Dominica manipulating the CBI for personal gains of the politicians and the people involved. CBI is a very good program. If somebody wants to come into your country, they can invest in your country, they can come to your country and live lawfully, and they can go ahead and be become one of your citizens, one of your brethren. And Matt, you have to agree. If somebody's coming, for instance, in your country with $1 million, $2 million, and they say, I want to put that $2 million in Dominica because I believe in Dominica, that person should be allowed to become a Dominican. But instead, Mr. Skerritt was not doing that. What he was doing was selling the passport and putting the money away or using it for other means. So we need to understand very clearly the CBI program was not the problem. It was the method at which we were using the CBI. Nobody wants us to get rid of CBI. I love CBI. I think if you want to come to Dominica and invest, come and invest. I think if you want to come to Dominica and live, come and live. But we were selling passports so that criminals could hide themselves. We were selling passports so people could enter other countries willfully without being noticed. And that was the problem with CBI. So I'm going to tell you right now, we need to understand that Mr. Skerritt, if he wants people like me, and I'm not saying me, to jump in the ring with him and to actually have to say, Mr. Skerritt, I am willing to go up to be the prime minister of this country, or I'm willing to go up and be one of the members who leads this country. You have to start playing fair and you have to start playing by the rules. If your prime minister pretends to be a silent criminal, I do not want to be associated with silent criminals. I'm a businessman. I make money legally and I'm a law-abiding citizen. I do not want to be caught up with criminals.
Say he's a silent criminal is saying something very damning though, Andy. Would you agree?
Well, maybe it's damning, but that's what it is. I mean, look at where Dominica is and look at how many accusations we have on a daily basis that our prime minister is involved in. No, I'm not saying he might be directly involved. But guess what? Whenever something happens, who comes up on the podium and speaks for it, Matt? Who? Who did he say that everything stops with him? He says everything stops with him. So when things happen, I don't want him to hide. I want you to say, this was my fault. So Mr. Skerritt, start being honest and start being transparent with people. And if Mr. Skerritt is a man like I am asking him to bring his financial transcript, and I will bring my financial transcript, and we will see where the money lies, and we will see how much he has, how much this one has. So he needs to be transparent with people. He cannot hide in the shadows and in the dark, and he cannot get gifts of Toyotas, Paradas, and he cannot get gifts of Land Cruisers, and he cannot get gifts of Jeeps from people we in Dominica do not know. And he cannot build a house on money that we don't know where the money is coming from. And he cannot have Chinese people working on his house in Mont Daniel. So the question is, Mr. Skerritt needs to come out of the dark because he is really a silent criminal. He is the reason why Dominica is going down.
Would you stay in the $70,000 house, Andy? Would you?
Matt, but 70 what? EC or 70 US?
70,000. That's what he's renting right now. A big house
Matt,
in Mont Daniel.
oh, Matt, that's per month? Matt, I have no desire to stay in a house. First of all, I'm going to tell you, one of the most admirable prime ministers in the Caribbean right now, for anybody who doesn't know, is the Prime Minister of Grenada. The Prime Minister of Grenada, if you look at it right now, stays in his own personal house that he has paid for with his own money. And the citizens of Grenada do not have to contribute anything to him living at his own home. Why couldn't our Prime Minister be that way? Take a note from Grenada.
From what I'm gathering, he's building his own home right now.
Oh, with whose money? Matt, does anybody look into that? Maybe his home is a gift. It's a gift from the Dominican people. Have you ever looked into that? Maybe the Toyota Land Cruiser is a gift. Who is that one a gift from? Maybe the Jeep, what was it, a Land Rover, Matt? Is it a Land Rover? He said, yeah. So maybe that's a gift too. And maybe everything in his house is a gift. So why is our civil servant prime minister who works for the Dominican people getting so many gifts that the Dominican people are not allowed to enjoy? Can anybody out there answer me that one question? I cannot answer the question for myself because I don't know the answer. Our prime minister seems to be getting gifts galore and we do not know about it. And it is not declared on his public taxes either. So how are we as citizens expected to support somebody like that who is not being transparent, open and honest? And Matt, when we send you to interview the prime minister, you never ask him questions like that. I come on your radio and I ask those questions to our prime minister, and he does not call your radio station with the courtesy. And you know what, Matt? Kondwani Williams has not even called your radio station and said anything either. So when I come on your radio station and I talk that way, why don't these people call you and say, Matt, Andy Jolly said something about me? I would really like to clear it out.
Andy is speaking the truth. Skerrit is intellectually dishonest. That's what somebody's saying here.
That is very true. And I agree with it, and I can see it. I'm a businessman. I open businesses every day. Today I run 18 companies. I run the books of them. I value all my employees. Mr. Skerrit is an employee of Dominica, and he does not behave like an employee of Dominica. He behaves like the king of Dominica. And I will remind you, that is a very dangerous thing for Dominica. We will only see our society go down. Look at the mass migration that we're having in Dominica. I am going to tell you, at one point in time, we had more people than St. Kitts. And right now, Matt, Dominica has less people than St. Kitts. Keep that in mind.
Andy Jolly, we have a few minutes, and we're going to take one call because somebody's been trying to call in. Are you there? Caller, are you there? Hello? Nobody there. So, Andy, we're going to wrap it up. I'm sure you'll be back in Dominica very soon. I'm sure you'll continue the engagement here. But time is
I try.
Now, let's pick up some comments. I know a lot of people seem to be disappointed with some of your sentiments as it relates to Trump, but they love you anyway. Yes.
Well, you know, I love all the people, and thank you for all your contribution. But like I said, I can only speak what happens in my neck of the neighborhood and on my bank book. So don't get caught up too much in the media. The media pretends and make things up so that people can sell. Try to look for your own self. And I want the Dominican people to know out there that I really care about Dominica. And look, Matt, if we have an election to tomorrow, I want to let everybody out there know, if you're going to vote for somebody, make sure they can at least pick up your trash at your home on a regular basis. I know we didn't talk about trash this time, but Matt, if you cannot pick up my trash at my home, I'm not going to hire you as a civil servant to do anything else for me. So that is number one on my list for today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andy Jolly. Outspoken. He'll be back soon. So, of course, we'll engage him again. That's it for us, Dominica. That's it. We'll see you around. Tomorrow is Calypso semifinals. Tomorrow, on Sunday, is the grand rally of the United Workers' Party. Stick around, Dominica. This has been the Talk on the Block with Andy Jolly. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I wonder who's going to make it through. Who's going to stay in the queue? Yes, it's all about Calypso semifinals, Saturday, 31st January 2026, 8:30 p.m. at the Windsor Park Stadium. 20 great Calypsonians going to be battling. Only 9 could make it to the finals. So you got to be there. They're backed up by the Swingers Bank. Early bird tickets $50, regular $60, seating $80, VIP $130, pay-per-view $30 US. Come see who's gonna meet the Queen. Yes, that is Queen Joy and Booyah Sensation. One done. It's all about Calypso semifinals. Saturday, 31st January, 8:30 p.m. sharp at the Windsor Park. Sponsored by Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Top Peter Water, Henneken Beer, Flo Dominica, Discover Dominica Authority, Jungle Bay, Domlek, Fresh Market, Do It Center, Big Edge, Becky's Pizza, ICWI, Carry FM, Vibes Radio, QFM, DBX Radio, Adam Songs, The Factory.
It's all here, so there we go. People from the north, south, east, and west, from Grand Bay to Portsmouth, Salisbury to Lapland, to Moon. The United Workers' Party presents the massive Grand National Rally, where the Grand Four playing field, yes, the Grand Four playing field, when Sunday, February 1st, 2026. At what time? We're starting from 12 noon with our next Prime Minister under the theme, putting Dominica first, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Come be part of great music, real talk, and entertainment. Of course, and great food. Macklin, I find you off that boat soon, Papa. Remember, it's February 1st, a Sunday, February 1st, the Grand Four playing field. Putting Dominica first, the United Workers' Party.
I just be good with the Rosso again. Same place outside Flossies. I try to dock in, but you had time see me. Well, story start again. Million, lot of my power with us, huh? Sucker fella, I said the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossies, and you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I'm busy. It's to hear him way. You reckon? About my pocket, boy. I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh, shucks, man. Good when you're still telling me. I know already. To pack a respect him, why? But it can even pepper palais. I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Flossies, right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Flossies can't do it to you.
If you know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited. Over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy drink, and of course, Sunblast juices, Thomas Snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in Dominica.
Fais vite, s'il vous plaît, moi pressé.
So let me see, Mac. Mac away.
Eh bien, il semble